Good evening po, Doc.
Okay.
Good evening, Doc.
Okay. Okay na kayo? Tapos na yung ethics nyo sa mga isang section?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. Okay, today we will be talking about the gas transport. Okay? So, gas transport is also known as your internal respiration. Okay? Internal respiration. Gas exchange is your external respiration. Okay? So, this is the transport of your oxygen and your carbon dioxide. Okay? So, your oxygen is carried in the blood in two forms. Tandaan nyo na in two forms. Ano ba yan? Laser. Okay, in two forms. We have your dissolved, okay? Dissolved and bound to hemoglobin, which is the most uh, abundant, most important, and also the most important. Okay? Actually, it's 98% of oxygen that is bound to hemoglobin, only 2% that is dissolved in your plasma. Okay? So yan, pwedeng dissolve in plasma or combination with your hemoglobin. So almost 1 to 3% lang ang tawag nito, ang nakadissolve sa plasma, while 97 to 98% ang transport ng oxygen ay in combination with your hemoglobin. Okay? Next is your carbon dioxide transport. So carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide in the blood, oxygen. Okay? So carbon dioxide is produced in tissues and carried to the lungs, di ba? In the venous blood in three forms. We have the dissolved in plasma, the carbaminohemoglobin. So carbaminohemoglobin, carbon dioxide plus hemoglobin. Okay? Then majority or yung combination with your carbon dioxide to water that will cause the formation of your ano yun, carbon dioxide plus water.
Bicarbonate, Doc.
Your bicarbonate. Ay, bicarbonate ba?
Bicarbonate.
Bicarbonate ba?
Carbonic acid po, Doc.
Carbonic acid, di ba?
Bicarbonic acid, Doc.
Yes, your carbonic acid, di ba? With the virtue of your carbonic anhydrase, di ba? Carbon dioxide plus water will form your carbonic acid. Then the carbonic acid will dissociate, di ba? Into, di ba? Ano? Tandaan nyo yun.
Bicarbonate hydrogen po.
Ah, bicarbonate and?
Hydrogen po.
Okay, very good. Your, di ba? Carbon dioxide plus water will form your carbonic acid, your H2CO3. Then, it will dissociate, di ba? Unstable kasi itong acid na to, mag-dissociate siya into your hydrogen ion and your bicarbonate. Okay? Sorry. HCO3. Okay? So, ito yung major transport ng carbon dioxide. Okay? The major transport of your carbon dioxide is through the formation of your bicarbonate, okay? Which is the major form, 90%. Oxygen bound to hemoglobin. Okay. Okay. Sige. Unahin natin si oxygen. So, oxygen transport in the blood. So, yan, 98% transported via hemoglobin, 2% transported freely dissolved in plasma. So, hemoglobin has the greatest effect on the ability of blood to transport oxygen. So, it contains the highest portion of stored oxygen in the body. Okay? So, normal value for hemoglobin, diba? For men, 13.5 to 17.5, but it varies depending sa textbook. Okay? And for women, 12 to 15 grams per dl. Okay? Grams per dl. Paano pala pag mababa ang hemoglobin? Ano yung ano yung medical management natin dyan? Oh, nagpa-CBC ka, tapos kunyari, ikaw, 1 week ka ng, 1 week ka ng, tawag nito, 1 week ka ng namamayat, tapos parang namumutla dahil sa kaka-review mo because exam na next week. Okay? Tapos, yun, nagpa-CBC ka puno, tapos hemoglobin mo 5 na lang. 5 grammer ka na lang. So, ano yung immediate intervention natin dyan? Hmm. Ano?
Doc, anemia po ba?
Anemia.
Oy, oo nga, meron kang
Anemia.
anemia. Oh, may anemia ka, di ba? May anemia ka. So, ano yung ginagawa natin sa mga ganyang patient? Lalo na 5 grammer na lang siya. For
Doc,
example,
blood transfusion po.
okay, very good. It's your blood transfusion, di ba? Okay? Kasi ang isang unit ng blood, or isang unit ng yung pack RBC, pwede niyang itaas yung hemoglobin mo ng 1. Okay? 1 gram. Okay? Okay, nice to know, nice to know. Okay, so your hemoglobin is the red oxygen carrying pigment in the RBC, globular potential with 4 subunit. So the oxygen, it is an oxygen, carbon dioxide, ano yan? Nitric oxide or nitrous oxide? Ano yung NO nyo? NO. Di ba? Baka malito kayo, NO and N2O.
Nitric oxide po.
Okay, your nitric oxide, di ba? It is a nitric oxide. So it is your hemoglobin is a quaternary structure, di ba? Diba? It's a quaternary structure. Di ba yung mga proteins natin, di ba, pag-aaral sa biochem is, di ba, may 4 na configuration. Hemoglobin is a quaternary structure, okay? That possesses a allosteric properties. Okay? So, tandaan nyo that the binding of your oxygen, okay, magbabind ang oxygen to hemoglobin. Okay, binding of oxygen to hemoglobin alters the ability of hemoglobin to absorb light. Di ba? So, yan yung responsible for the change in the color between the oxygenated arterial blood, which is bright red, and the deoxygenated venous blood, which is dark reddish blue. O, yung sabi nila sa libro, dark reddish blue daw. Ayan. So, this is an arterial blood. This is extracted from a venous vein, so venous blood. So, sabi dyan, globular proteins with 4 subunits. So, yan. So, we have 4 subunits, globular protein siya with 4 subunits. So, we have 2 portions, diba? Your heme moiety, or moiety and your, anong meron dyan sa hemoglobin? Di ba may dalawang portion? Your heme and your protein portion, which is your, ano yung protein portion niya? Start with letter G.
Globin po.
Ah,
Globin po, Doc.
globin. Okay, di ba? Okay, so we have in hemoglobin, you have two portions. Your heme moiety plus your hemoglobin or your protein portion. Okay? So saan dito yung portion na to between the two ang meron or it contains the iron? Saan dito yung may iron? Itong protein or itong globin or itong may heme? Ano?
Yung
Sa
heme, yung iron, tapos yung
oh,
globin
yun.
is protein po.
Okay, very good. Sa heme, di ba? Sa heme. So, the heme moiety contains iron in anong state ng iron? Ferric, ano ba yung panang iron na? Medical symbol na Fe, ano? Fe, ferric state ba siya? Or nasa ferrous state? Di ba yung heme meron, yung heme contains an iron. Ang tanong ko, anong yung form ng iron? Is it ferric state or ferrous state?
Ferrous po, Doc.
Ferrous po, Doc.
Okay, very good. Ferrous. Itong ferrous state na to ang siyang nagbabind sa oxygen. Di ba? Paano pag tong ferric ang nagbind sa oxygen, ang tawag mo na ngayon? Hmm? Anong tawag mo na? Hmm. Ano? Anong tawag mo sa hemoglobin na nagbabind sa oxygen in ferric state?
So, Doc,
Hmm.
methemoglobin po.
Ah?
Met, methemoglobin po.
It's your methemoglobin, di ba? Methemoglobin. Or ito yung reduced na hemoglobin. Methemoglobin ang tawag doon, okay? So, yon. So, the iron in ferrous form, okay? So, the iron is in the ferrous state dapat, which binds to the oxygen, hindi ferric state, ferrous state, okay? Plus your globin of your polypeptide portion. So, ito yung may apat na subunit, okay? So, bakit apat na subunit sa globin? Because sa globin chain, meron kang dalawang alpha, saka dalawang beta. Okay? Sa heme group naman kasi, andito yung, anong meron dito? Ferrous iron, saka porphyrin ring. Or your porphyrin ring. Okay? So, ilan yung oxygen molecules ang pwedeng mag-bind sa hemoglobin? Ilan?
4.
Apat. Very good. So, a maximum of 4 molecules of oxygen will bind with the heme moiety. Okay? So, the oxygen will bind sa heme portion. Okay? Hindi sa globin portion. Sa heme portion sa magbabind. So, ilan lang dapat yung maximum is 4. Okay? Dito pala. So, dito. Focus nyo dito. Yung oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitric oxide, uh, ano ba to? Carbon monoxide, and hydrogen ion transporter. So, anong gas ang may pinakamataas ang binding capacity dito? Is it your hydrogen, carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, carbon dioxide, or your oxygen? Ano?
Oxygen po.
Oxygen? Sure
Sir,
ka na dyan?
carbon monoxide po. Carbon
Carb-
dioxide.
Carbon dioxide?
Monoxide po.
Carbon
Monoxide.
monoxide.
Monoxide po, sir.
Monoxide. Bakit? Pag ito yung choices, pag ito ang choices, okay, may pinakamataas. So, which of the following gases has the highest binding capacity to your hemoglobin? Is it your oxygen, A, B, carbon dioxide, C, nitric oxide, D, carbon monoxide, or D, hydrogen? So, your answer is? Ano? Carbon monoxide?
Yes, Doc.
Actually, the answer is nitric oxide. Okay, nitric oxide. Okay, your nitric oxide has 200 times greater binding capacity. Okay, may 200 times greater binding capacity than your carbon monoxide. But your carbon monoxide has 200 times greater binding capacity than your oxygen. So, sa textbook kasi ito lang yung palagi nako-compare, di ba? Okay, so depende ulit sa tanong. Okay, pag nakita nyo na merong nitric oxide, so ang tanong is yung the highest binding capacity, it's your nitric oxide. Pero pag wala namang nitric oxide, is it between your carbon monoxide and oxygen? It is your carbon monoxide. Okay? Natandaan? So, depende yan sa tanong. Nagets ba? Ano? Sagot naman daw Hello, second year. Nagets nyo ba yun? Nagets nyo ba? Kayla. Nagets mo ba, Kayla? Kayla o Bamid? Kayla. Hello. Nagets nyo ba?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes
Yes
po.
po.
Okay, okay. So, Wait, I have another question. Wait. Sige, tawagin natin si Esteban Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica. Jamaica ba? Jamaica.
Yes po.
Okay. So, I have a question. So, can your oxygen and carbon dioxide bind with hemoglobin at the same time? Pwede ba silang mag-bind at the same time?
Yes po, possible po, pero at different sites po.
Okay, very good. 'Di ba? The answer is yes. Okay, pwede silang mag-bind. Pwede silang mag-bind ng sabay actually. Okay? Because they have different site, magkaiba sila ng binding site. Okay? Saan ba nagbabind si oxygen?
Sa iron po.
Hindi, ano nga? Saan?
Sa him po.
Si
Ay,
carbon dioxide.
si carbon po sa globin portion po.
Okay. Okay. Okay, next. So, paano nagke-carry so dito sa slide na to, ang tanong lang dyan is paano nagke-carry ang hemoglobin ng oxygen? Okay? So take note that 1 gram of hemoglobin can carry 1.34. This is your magic number. Malabas to sa boards, your 1.34 ml of oxygen. Okay? Okay? So this is the amount of oxygen carried by 1 gram of hemoglobin. So 1.34. Okay? Suki yan sa RT boards. Okay? Several times according to student feedbacks na lumabas to. Okay? Sabi dyan, kada gramo daw ng iyong hemoglobin, pwede siyang magdala ng 1.34 ml of oxygen. Okay? 1.39 pag pure hemoglobin. Kaso hindi naman siya pure. Okay? So, ito, 1.34 times 15. Saan nakuha yung 15? Your mean value ng your normal hemoglobin. So, 20.1. Mga 20.1. So, ibig sabihin yan, so for every 100 ml ng dugo, it can carry 20.1 ml of oxygen. Okay? Every 100 ml, syempre, ng blood, if that is 100% saturated. Okay? So, oxygen extraction sa tissues is 4.5 or roughly 5 ml. And for your oxygen content of the blood, so this is the amount of blood or amount of oxygen carried in blood, including the bound and dissolved to oxygen. So, ito yung CaCO2 nyo, CaO2. Because yung formula na yan, dalawa yan. Yung bound to hemoglobin, saka dissolved in plasma. Okay, aralin nyo yan. Hindi na ba tinuro to ni Doc Sir Kelvin? Or wala kayong experiments about this one? Gas transport or exchange or transport ba to? Transport? Wala.
Doc, yung
Oo.
transport lang ng carbon dioxide as bicarbonate.
Anong ginawa nyo?
Yung from CO2 transport from tissue to the lungs, ganun po.
Ah, okay. Next, you go to your carbon dioxide transport. Okay. So, your carbon dioxide transport in blood, so it is, di ba sabi natin, transported in 3 forms. Okay. Yung oxygen, di ba, dalawa lang. Bound to hemoglobin, which is 98%, and dissolved in plasma, which is 2%. In carbon dioxide, we have three forms, 70% bicarbonate, 23% is carbamina hemoglobin, 7% which is freely dissolved in plasma. Okay, tandaan that your deoxyhemoglobin buffers your hydrogen ion inside the RBC. Okay, so let's discuss this one. So, nakuha nyo na pala to, di ba? So, parang madali nyo na tong intindihin. So, in your, kuha nyo kasi, sa cellular respiration, di ba? Or in your biochem, uh, if there is a complete metabolism of your carbohydrates, for carbohydrates, proteins, saka fats, di ba? It will lead to the production of your carbon dioxide, di ba? So the complete metabolism of your foodstuffs, okay, will lead to the production of it will lead to the production of your carbon dioxide. Okay, that is eliminated by the lungs because carbon dioxide is very, ano ba to? Volatile acid or non-volatile? It's volatile, di ba? Volatile acid siya. So, pwede mo siyang ma-excrete sa lungs. So, dyan lang naman. Diyan mo lang na-excrete yung yung carbon dioxide through your lungs. Okay? So, the transport of your carbon dioxide and oxygen is tightly coupled. Okay? So, kailan ba nangyayari ang oxygen uptake? So, it begins when uptake of oxygen. It begins from your diffusion. Paano? Yung exchange nila, oxygen, from the alveolar epithelium to the capillaries, di ba? Oxygen. Okay? So, sabi natin, 98% magdi-diffuse sa RBC. Sa remaining 2% directly sa plasma. Okay? So, the RBC will be transported throughout the circulatory system. So yun, di ba? So, pag ang oxygen na yung oxygen-rich RBC na rich na niya yung capillaries, napunta na dito sa systemic, di ba? Napunta na siya sa tissues, capillary beds. Within the tissues, the oxygen is released in exchange of your carbon dioxide. So, your tissue, pupunta naman siya, mag-exchange sila ng carbon dioxide, di ba? So, yun. So, ito yung mga kwan. So, let's discuss your carbon dioxide that is produced and released from your tissues. Okay? Ang sabi, ilan yung dissolved sa plasma sa carbon dioxide? Ilan? Dissolved in plasma.
7% po, Dok.
Okay, very good. 7% that is dissolved in plasma, di ba? So, while others, sabihin mo natin roughly 100, di ba? Your 83%, ano ba yung 83 dyan, 83% magdi-diffuse sa RBC, di ba? Okay. Sa loob ng RBC, 70% of your carbon dioxide will combine with hemoglobin. Okay. So this is your blood, your RBC, interstitial fluid. Okay. So your blood, okay, sa loob ng RBC, di ba? So 70% daw ng tignan nyo yung kwento. Okay, parang red na to. Ito na lang, laser na lang. So, yung 70% ng carbon dioxide, okay, will combine with water. Okay? And it rapidly converted to, ano to? H2CO3, what's this? Carbonic acid, di ba? Okay? So, carbon dioxide plus water, okay, will rapidly converted to carbonic acids. By what enzyme? Your carbonic anhydrase. Okay? So, this carbonic acid is rapidly and spontaneously converted into bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. Okay? So, oh, in the formation of your bicarbonate and your bicarbonate and well, this one, your hydrogen ion, your bicarbonate are immediately out of the RBC. Lalabas sila in exchange of chloride. Diba? Lalabas si RBC, impermeable siya. Pwede siyang lumabas sa RBC. Si bicarbonate, permeable siya sa blood. Pwede siyang umalis sa RBC. Pero pag-alis niya daw, papasok naman siya, may pumapasok ay paglabas niya si bicarbonate may pumapasok which is the chloride via your bicarbonate chloride exchanger. Okay? This is referred to as the anion exchanger or an AE1, yun, an ion exchanger 1 or an AE1 or ito yung tinatawag na band 3. Okay, anong phenomenon to? Yung paglabas ng carbon ng bicarbonate, siya naman yung pagpasok ng kwan ng chloride. Ano? CJ Cruz. CJ.
Yes po, Doc.
Ba't parang kagising mo?
Hindi po, Doc.
So anong tawag nyo dyan? Anong phenomenon yan? Yung paglabas ng bicarbonate, siya naman yung pagpasok ng chloride. Ang reason behind yan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng ganyang phenomenon is to maintain the electroneutrality of your RBC. Okay? Kasi maglalabas ka ng anion eh. So syempre, maging positive lahat yan dito sa cell. So, hindi na siya neutral. So may dapat may papasok din na anion. This is your chloride. So anong tawag nyo dyan? PJ.
Chloride shift. Chloride shift po ba, Doc?
Okay, very good. Sure, chloride shift. Anong phenomenon yon? PJ.
Chloride shift po, Doc.
Oo nga, ano ang phenomenon yan? Anong tawag nyo dyan? Chloride shift nga yun. So, pero may tawag dyan?
Hamburgers.
Is your hamburger's phenomenon, di ba? Is your hamburger's phenomenon. So, yung reason yan, bakit nagkakaroon ng chloride shift, sabi ko, is to maintain the electroneutrality of your RBC. Okay? So, balik tayo sa bicarbonate. So, balik tayo So, yan, si bicarbonate, pagkatapos niyang iwan si RBC, your bicarbonate ion is readily dissolved in your plasma. Okay? So about 70% of your total carbon dioxide is transported through our circulatory system. Okay? Transported as bicarbonate that is dissolved in plasma. So ito yon, 70%. Okay? So anong nangyayari? So 'di ba? So pero ano nangyayari sa kwan? Ano nangyayari kay hydrogen ion na naiwan sa RBC? Because hindi siya makalabas sa RBC eh. Your hydrogen ion is relatively impermeable to the cell membrane. So hindi niya kayang makalabas sa plasma. So ang nangyayari, si hydrogen ion, dumadami sila sa RBC, di ba? Siyempre, di sila makalabas. Madami sila sa RBC. Okay? Ngayon, tumataas ang RBC. Ano yung tumataas? Tumataas ang pH mo. Okay? Tumataas ba pH mo o bumababa? Tumababa ba ang pH or tumataas?
Tumataas po, sir.
Tumataas ba? Pag dumadami ang hydrogen ion sa katawan mo, mas tumataas ba? Mas nagiging alkalotic ba ang pH mo or naging acidotic? Pag dumadami ang hydrogen ion mo sa katawan. So parang pag sinabi mo na dumadami yung hydrogen ion, mas nagiging acidic ka, di ba? So, mas bumababa. Okay? Mas bumababa ang pH. So, they lower your intracellular. So, this will cause dissociation of your oxygen from your hemoglobin. Okay? So, your hemoglobin, which is important or your principal buffer of your intracellular cells, okay? Your hemoglobin will now buffer the ICF by binding into your binding into your hydrogen ion. Okay, so ito na ngayon, carbon dioxide, 23% of your carbon dioxide that diffuses into the RBCs displace the oxygen on the oxygen hemoglobin from your ito na kasi yun yung 23% carbon dioxide kasi pabalik siya ganon plus hemoglobin. Okay? So, yan yung kwento noon. Okay, tandaan nyo lang yan 70% bicarbonate, 23, carbamino, 7% dissolved in plasma. Okay? So, nakuha nyo na to, nasagasaan nyo na tong Haldane effect.
Hindi pa, Doc.
Seryoso? Bakit? Okay. So, Haldane effect. Pag Haldane effect, tandaan nyo sa lungs. Okay, nangyayari yan sa lungs. So, oxygen binding with hemoglobin reduce the affinity of carbon dioxide with hemoglobin. So, it release of carbon dioxide from hemoglobin sa lungs. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ng oxygen plus hemoglobin. So, if you remember, di ba, kanina, 23% of your carbon dioxide, makinig, kasi ito yung must know talaga to. Okay? 23% of your carbon dioxide, di ba, it's transported in the blood. We call that your, anong tawag nyo doon? Yung carbon dioxide na nakadikit sa hemoglobin, what is that?
Carbamino.
Okay,
Carbamino hemoglobin.
your carbamino hemoglobin, di ba? Okay, your carbamino hemoglobin. So eventually, pag pumunta na yan sa lungs mo, okay, kung saan mataas ang oxygen will cause ion binding of your carbon dioxide. Okay? Yung carbon dioxide na nakadikit sa hemoglobin maghihiwalay pag napunta na siya sa lungs because of the high oxygen tension. Okay? Iiwan niya si hemoglobin. Tama? Bale, it will cause the carbon dioxide to unbind with that of your hemoglobin. Tandaan, it will cause the carbon dioxide to unbind with that of your hemoglobin. So, anong mangyayari? So, bale, yung pag nagkaroon ng unbinding ng oxygen, yung carbon dioxide plus yung hemoglobin, ang nangyayari, bale, didikit ngayon itong si oxygen sa hemoglobin, parang dito. Okay? Para silang magpapalitan. Okay? Mag-shift sila, magpapalitan sila. So, okay, so itong si carbon dioxide ngayon ay ilalabas mo sa katawan. Okay? Carbon dioxide is a volatile acid. Okay? Ilalabas mo yan. Exhale mo yan. With the help of your lungs, syempre. Si oxygen naman, na nakabind sa hemoglobin, matatransport into your tissues. So, meron ka na ngayong oxygen hemoglobin. Okay? So, we call this as your Haldane effect. Okay? Tandaan, Haldane, o yan, oxygen plus hemoglobin yan. Oxygen causes, tandaan niya, Haldane. Your oxygen causes ano ba yun? Your oxygen causes the carbon, oxygen causes the carbaminohemoglobin to unload its carbon dioxide and it happens in the lungs. Okay? That is your Haldane effect. Okay? Okay, next. Next naman si Bohr effect. Nakuha nyo na to, si Bohr. Baka ito na pwede pa. Alexandra. Miss Alexandra Acorda.
Yes po, Doc.
Saan nangyayari ang Bohr effect? Kung ang Haldane nangyayari sa lungs, ang Bohr effect nangyayari sa Alexandra. Ano na?
Sa lungs din po, Doc.
Sa lungs. Andito na nga sa slides, oh. B for your body tissues. Nakikinig ba ka ba o ano? Is sa body tissues, di ba? Sa Bohr effect sa body tissues, sa Haldane effect sa lungs. Kinig kayo, second year. Your Bohr effect is the carbon dioxide binding with hemoglobin reduces the affinity of your oxygen with hemoglobin. It happens in the tissues. Okay? Okay, imagine that your hemoglobin or your oxyhemoglobin, okay, kanina, di ba? Ang star is your carbamino. Ngayon, your oxyhemoglobin. So imagine your oxyhemoglobin ay punta na ngayon sa body tissues mo. Ito, sa kon na to. Okay? So, due to the metabolism of your body tissues, it produces, anong naproproduce ng body tissues? Because of its metabolism.
Carbon dioxide po, Doc.
Okay, very good. Your carbon dioxide, di ba? Okay, because of this carbon dioxide that is produced by your tissues through the metabolism, it will now cause the oxygen to unbind or unload from your oxyhemoglobin. O ganun lang din. Pale, mag-a-unbind naman ngayon si oxygen and hemoglobin kapalit ni carbon dioxide. Okay? Forming now your carbaminohemoglobin. Diba? Sa Haldane effect kasi, naghihiwalay mo si carbon dioxide at hemoglobin para makakreate ka ng oxyhemoglobin. Sa Bohr effect, which is nagyayari sa body tissues, naghihiwalay mo, ina-unbind mo. Okay? Si oxygen naman, saka si hemoglobin para makagawa ka ng carbaminohemoglobin, which is yung carbon dioxide na nakadikit sa hemoglobin. Okay? So then eventually, yung carbaminohemoglobin na yan, di ba? From red, di ba, yung red, yung RBC na yan nagiging dark. So yan, pupunta na siya ngayon eventually pupunta yan sa lungs, di ba? Kung saan mangyayari ang Haldane effect naman. Okay? So tandaan, in Bohr effect, carbon dioxide causes the oxyhemoglobin to unbind or unload its oxygen. And it happens in your tissues. And that is your Bohr effect. Okay? Okay, next. Your oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve. Ito, na-discuss nito ni Sir Kelvin nyo. Joshua.
Doc,
Na-discuss ba tong hemoglobin dissociation curve sa inyo?
Doc is pinahapyawan lang po kanina ni Sir Kelvin mo ito.
Okay. So your oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve. Okay? So it is a plot of percent saturation of your hemoglobin as to the function of your PO2. Okay? So your PO2 of 25, tingnan nyo mamaya dyan. So ito muna. Okay? Mamaya, yung curve. PO2 of 25, sabi niyan, 50% saturated. So, 50% saturation, your P50. Okay? Sa ibang libro kasi, ang PO2 mo dyan is 27 millimeters mercury. Okay? So at 40 millimeters mercury of your PO2, it is 75% saturated, while almost 100% saturated na siya pag 100% or 100 mmHg sa ang PO2 mo. Okay? So tandaan that your oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve is sigmoidal in shape. So yan. And it's exhibit positive cooperativity. Okay? Basta tandaan nyo lang that your hemoglobin combines rapidly and reversibly with your oxygen, okay, to form your oxygen hemoglobin. So, ibig sabihin, yung characteristic ng oxygen and hemoglobin binding nyo is rapid. Okay? Rapid, so it happens in milliseconds. Then, it is loose and reversible. So, pag nag-bind siya sa hemoglobin, pwede siyang umalis. Okay? So this is a very famous and immortal oxygen dissociation curve. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan. So, yan. Ilang oxygen molecules na nga ang pwedeng mag-bind sa hemoglobin?
4 po.
Okay, so 4, di ba? So the overall sigmoidal shape of the curve is a result of the varied affinities of the four oxygen binding sites of your hemoglobin molecules. Okay? So yan. Binding of the first oxygen molecule, difficult. Pagmunta na siya dito, okay, bind more easily. Sa na 4 na, difficult to bind na. Okay? It's more difficult to bind. So, must know slide. Okay? So what are the factors that will change the position of your hemoglobin dissociation curve? So, meron tayong shift to the right and shift to the left. Okay? Huwag niyong pahirapan yung sarili niyo. So, pag shift to the right, lahat increase yan. Right, increase. Except, anong except? Sa pH mo. Siyempre. Except sa pH mo is decrease. Okay? Pag left naman, lahat ng factors. Shift to the yung shift to the left shift ng oxygen dissociation curve is lahat ng factors decrease. Okay, lahat yan decrease. Okay? Except sa pH mo, which is decrease. Ay, sorry. Increase pala, increase. Okay? So, yan. So, pag nag-shift to the right ba, ang affinity ng oxygen at hemoglobin increase ba or decrease? Mataas ba o mababa? Nakabind ba siya sa oxygen? Ay, nakadikit ba sila o hindi? Shift to the right.
Reduced affinity.
Okay, very good. Reduce. Tandaan nyo yan na shift to the right, reduce affinity. Lahat ng mga factors increase except sa pH mo decrease. Left naman, shift to the left, which is an increase in affinity of your oxygen and hemoglobin. Okay? Increase ang affinity, so lahat ng factors decreases. Correct. Lahat ng mga factors that will shift the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve to the left decreases except your pH, which is increase. Okay? So, the right shift, your P50 is high, while your P50 in your left shift is low. Okay? The forms of hemoglobin naman sa right shift is TOT form or T form. Tawag dyan. Sa kwan naman, sa left shift naman, which is, there is a, ano yan? I-reduce ba ang left shift o hindi? Ang oxygen
Please,
affinity.
apa, Doc? Just
Reduce ang kwan, left, or hindi?
Increase affinity po
decrease
yan.
pa except pH.
Okay, very increase ang affinity, di ba? So, R form yan, R form. Okay? So, these are the factors. Kasi may mga ibang factors like your fetal hemoglobin. Tandaan nyo yan na fetal hemoglobin will make your oxygen saturation, your oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve shift to the left. Okay? Also, with your carbon monoxide. For example, patient may carbon monoxide poisoning, tinanong sa exam, saan daw mag-shift yung oxygen dissociation curve? Okay, sa left. Okay? Then sa right naman, we have your carbon dioxide, your acidosis, your biphosphogycerate, your 2,3-BPG or your 2,3-DPG, isa lang yun, exercise, and temperature. So yan. So we have this mnemonics. Kabet, do the right thing, let go. O, yung mga kabet dyan. So lang. Okay? So we have your carbon dioxide, di ba? Your acidosis, your BPG, okay, 2,3-BPG, your exercise, and your temperature. Okay? Shift to the right yung mga yan. Okay? But, depende yan sa tanong ulit, di ba? Mamaya, pinapadetermine kung magra-right shift ba siya or left shift. Depende sa mga factors. Tapos, ang binigay is increase increase carbon dioxide. Pag increase ang carbon dioxide, ibig sabihin is uh, patient is hypoventilating, ganon, di ba? O acidosis, increase temperature, ganon, decrease in 2,3 DPG. Basta alam nyo lang that in right shift, okay, lahat ng factors will increase, di ba? While your pH will decrease. In the left shift naman, lahat ng factors will decrease while your pH will increase. Okay, nagets ba yon? Pauline, nagets mo ba?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, very good. So, nice to know that in exercise kasi ito, okay, in aerobic exercise, okay, so mag-exercise ka, your oxygen consumption mo, your carbon dioxide production, your respiratory rate, your venous PCO2 and pulmonary blood flow increases, while your arterial pH decreases, okay, due to your strenuous exercise, okay, due to your lactic acidosis, okay, kung OA ka na mag-exercise, syempre, okay. Next, there is no change tandaan nyo yan, no, in exercise, walang change sa arterial PO2 and PCO2. Same true with your arterial pH in moderate exercise. Okay? Moderate, no change. There is decrease in pH, in arterial pH, if there is a strenuous exercise that can lead to your lactic acidosis. Bakit? Bakit kaya? Bakit hindi nag-change? Why your PO2 and PCO2 does not change during moderate exercise? Ah, sige. Tingnan natin kung magaling kayo mag-connect the dots. Si Danica. Danica, Miss Danica Magutdayaw, nandito ka ba?
Hello po, Doc.
Okay, sige. So, Miss Danica, bakit ano sa pakalagay mo kung bakit there is change in arterial PO2 and PO2 in moderate exercise?
Doc, pag-iulit pa, nagcha-choppy ka po, Doc.
Okay. So, ano sa palagay mo kung bakit in moderate exercise, your arterial PO2 and PCO2 does not change? Mm. Oh, Christopher.
Kasi parang may equilibrium siya na may increase ng PO2, may decrease ng PCO2, kaya parang balance lang po siya.
Yun ba yun? Ano bang ginagawa ng katawan mo? Ano bang ginagawa mo para mabalance yun? Mm.
Mas faster yung ano sir, Doc, yung breathing po.
Oh, so anong tawag doon? Anong ginagawa mo doon? Anong compensatory mechanism yun? Anong ginagawa mo? Anong medical term nun?
Hyperventilation, Doc.
Hyperventilation? Ano yun? Ano yun?
Or takip niya po.
Takip niya, di ba? Nagtatakip niya ka, di ba? So that's the one, your
Bumabaliktad lang po, Dok.
that's your compensatory mechanism kung bakit hindi nag-change yung PO2 mo and your PCO2 in moderate exercise because of your one of your compensatory mechanisms that you breathe past. Okay, takipnik ka. Okay? Siyempre, sino ba yung nag-exercise kahit moderate ang hindi parang iba kasla ang tawag nun? Parang you're breathing too rapidly, parang ganun, di ba? Kahit moderate exercise pa lang. But that might change, okay? They might change naman. Okay, your PO2 and your PCO2 during exercise, during strenuous exercise. Okay. Okay. Okay, tapos na tayo sa exercise, punta naman tayo sa high altitude. So, paano yung sa high altitude naman? So, for example, if you're going to a place of a high altitude, okay, so for example, Baguio, punta ka sa Baguio Road, okay? So, this following may happen, okay? So, ano sa tingin yung unang magdi-decrease dyan? Your alveolar or your arterial? Sagot. Pag pumupunta ka ba sa high altitude, mas tumataas bang barometric pressure mo or mas bumababa?
Mas tumataas yung alveolar.
Hindi kasi decrease na nga to eh. Wait, para hindi ka magulo pa. Okay? The decrease in your alveolar PO2, okay, kasi John Mark, ano?
Doc, based sa naalala ko po from our teacher noon, si Ma'am Jane po, ang sabi niya po is kapag high altitude po is possible na maging magkaroon ng hypoxia yung tao. So, I think it's the arterial po yung maunang magdi-decrease.
Actually, it's the alveolar. Siyempre, sa lungs muna ka. Sa lungs, alveolar PO2 muna. Okay? Actually,
Doc, pwede pong paulit. Mahina po yung audio niyo po.
wait lang. Hindi kasi sorry. Okay. Hindi nakatapat sa bibig ko.
Thank
Okay.
you po.
So, the decrease in the alveolar PO2, ayan, okay, is due to the decrease in your barometric pressure, decrease in PB. Tandaan nyo pag high altitude, nagdi-decrease ang barometric pressure from some 760 millimeters mercury above sea level, nagiging, sabihin natin, naging 500, parang ganon. Okay? In contrast naman sa mga mag-dive ka, di ba? Okay? So, pag ganon, tumataas naman ang kanilang barometric pressure. Okay? But in high altitude, the decrease in your alveolar PO2 is due to the decrease of your barometric pressure. Okay? So, this lead to the decrease of your arterial PO2. Okay? Which leads to hypoxemia. Hindi hypoxia. Hypoxemia muna. Okay? Okay. So,
Thank you,
next.
Doc.
Okay, so what will happen naman sa RR nyo? Secondary
Decrease
to
din
your... Okay. So, what will happen to your RR secondary to your hypoxemia? It will
Decrease din po.
Increase. Bakit? Paano mag-i-increase? May increase talaga. Increase. Well, it will increase in your ventilatory rate, di ba? Increase in your ventilatory rate will increase your RR, so secondary to your hypoxemia. Okay, because of there is a decrease in your arterial PO2. Tama? So ano yan, nag-hyperventilate ka ba or nag-hypoventilate? May increase RR ka.
Hyperventilate
Hyper
po.
po.
Okay, hyperventilate. So, nag-i-increase ngayon yung arterial pH mo. Pag nag-increase ang arterial pH mo, ibig sabihin, respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis. Mataas ang pH, greater than 7.45. Alka-acid,
Alka.
Alkalosis po.
alkalosis. So, okay, very good. So, the hyperventilation will result in an increased arterial pH. Okay, so nagkakaroon ka ng respiratory alkalosis. So, during this time, there is also an increase in your hemoglobin concentration. Bakit? Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya nagkakaroon ng increase in hemoglobin? Nagiging malapot daw yung dugo mo kasi because of the increase in your hemoglobin concentration. Ang tawag dyan is polycythemia. Due to the increase in ano yung nagsisikret ng mga bones mo that is stimulated by hypoxia.
Red blood cell.
Ano, sino nga yun? Sino nga yung nagwakan? Na-stimulate. Na-stimulate siya dahil sa hypoxia. Kaya nag-increase. Kaya ang sabi ng katawan, hypoxic ang mga tissues nito. Okay? Ang gagawin ko, tataasan ko yung hemoglobin concentration nito. O, ganun siya. So, sino kaya yon na trigger?
Yung erythropoietin, Doc.
Okay, very good. Your EPO, your erythropoietin secretion, your EPO. Okay? So, the increase of your, okay na yan. Okay? So, the increase in RBC will cause an increase of your 2,3-DPG. Okay? So, the increase of your 2,3-DPG in turn will cause a shift to the right or shift to the left. Increase in 2,3-DPG, increase, shift to the right or left? Increase.
Right shift po.
Okay, so right shift. Okay, the right shift will shift to the right of the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve. In decreasing, di ba? Pag right shift, there is a decrease in affinity. So, decrease the affinity of your hemoglobin and hemoglobin to your oxygen. Okay? Kaya yan, kayong pala hypoxemia. Finally, your pulmonary vascular resistance daw is expected to increase. Siyempre, dito increase, di ba? Yung mag-i-increase, magkakaroon ko ng hypoxic vasoconstriction. Okay? Di ba? Remember that the lung hypoxia causes pulmonary arteriolar vasoconstriction. Okay? So, ito yung kwento. Okay? That's the story of or the pathophy of the of high altitude. Ito anong nangyayari pag nag-ascend ka, acclimatization, yun, ba? Acclimatize, okay? Nag-ascend ka sa kwan. So, anong nangyayari sa pulmo-fisio mo? So, that's it. Okay? Diba? Medyo mahirap ang fisio as in. Ang mahirap ang respi fisio. Ito yung sa mga classmate ko sa med noon. Ayaw nila tong respi fisio because ang daming ang tawag nito, ang daming calculation, ang daming pasikot-sikot, something gano'n. Hindi katulad ng ibang mga organ system na napaka-direct. Okay? Okay, let's break muna tayo siguro ng kahit 5 minutes. Inom muna tayo ng tubig. Okay? balik tayo ng siguro 7:35 na lang. Okay? Okay ba?
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Okay na? Okay na? Hello, hello.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes po, Doc.
Mm-mm. Okay. So let's go to the regional differences in perfusion. Okay. So this is the west lung zone of the west zone of the lungs. So we have your zone 1, zone 2, and your zone 3. Okay. So like the ventilation, the distribution of perfusion, okay, in the lungs can be conceptualized in these 3 zones. Okay. Yeah. Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Okay. Saan ba may pinakamataas ay pinakamalalaki ang mga alveoli? Sa apex ba or sa base? Alveoli
Sa
that
may
is
base, Doc.
malalaki, as in distended. Sa may,
Apex po ba, Doc?
sa apex, di ba? Sa apex, yung mga alveoli that is near the apex of the lungs tends to be more expanded. Tandaan na, mas malalaki sila. Tends to be more expanded with higher alveolar pressure. Okay? Which falls naman talaga as we move from the from apex to base. Okay? Due to the effect of the what? Gravity. Okay? So, ito, tingnan niyo to. Yung zone 1, ang sabi diyan, your alveolar pressure is greater than your arterial pressure, which is greater than your venous pressure. Okay? So, in zone 1, very minimal ang flow that is observed. Okay? So, in zone 1, ulitin natin, your alveolar pressure, di ba? Ito. Tignan nyo dito. Nakita nyo yung dito, yung picture dito, yung zone 1. Ito. So, parang nasasakal, di ba? Nasasakal yung blood vessels, di ba? Very compressed, kaya lesser ang perfusion natin dito sa apex. Okay? Nakuha? Pag dito sa zone 2 naman, sa gitna, di ba? The arterial is greater than the alveolar pressure. So, medyo okay. Medyo di na nako-compress, di ba? At dito, compress yung blood vessels. Ito parang hindi na nako-compress. The problem is, ang dito sa zone 2, your alveolar pressure is greater than your pulmonary or your venous pressure. So, medyo bumabagal yung flow. Pag dito naman sa zone 3, okay, mataas ang arterial pressure, ang venous pressure mo, mas mataas kaysa sa alveolar pressure. Which is maganda, di ba? Ang flow maganda yung flow at walang nako-compress because your alveolar pressure is decreased, yung pinakalis eh. Okay? Kaya maganda ang flow. Okay? So memorize this one, and this one. Okay, next. Your VQ naman. So your VQ is the ratio of alveolar ventilation to pulmonary blood flow. V is for ventilation, Q is for perfusion. So it is important to achieve an ideal gas exchange. So normally, normal VQ ratio is 0.8. So this results in arterial PO2 of 100 and a PCO2 of 40. Okay? ang tandaan nyo lang sa VQ, if we talk about ventilation, ventilation alone pala and perfusion alone is important. But the VQ ratio is more important. It's more important, siyempre. Okay? It's more important. Okay? So the VQ is the ratio of your pulmonary ventilation, diba? Ventilation, pulmonary ventilation to pulmonary blood flow. Why important? It is because important to achieve an ideal gas exchange. So approximately 0.8 daw. Okay? Okay. Pag sinabi natin decrease VQ, ano ibig sabihin yan? Mendoza, Leyan,
Yes, Doc.
anong ibig sabihin ng decrease VQ? Mas mababa ba ang ventilation kaysa sa perfusion? O mas mababa ang perfusion kaysa sa ventilation? Mm.
Naulit yun, Doc.
Pag decrease daw ang VQ, okay? Pag decrease ang VQ, saan daw yung impairment dyan? Is it the ventilation or your perfusion?
The ventilation, Doc.
Okay, mas mababa ang ventilation. Ventilation is lower than the perfusion, di ba? Parang impaired itong ventilation, preserve itong perfusion. Pag increase in VQ naman,
Perfusion po, Doc.
perfusion naman yung impairment, di ba? Kaysa sa ventilation. Paano, paano pag yung ventilation is yung VQ ratio mo is 0? Is it a shunt defect or dead space? Is it a shunt or a dead space? Mm. Ano?
Shunt, Doc.
Shunt, 'di ba? May shunt. Paano pwede ba 'to pag ang shunt ang VQ ratio mo is 0, pwede niya ba kaya niya ba tong gamutin ng oxygen supplementation? Yes or no? The answer is no. Okay, kahit paliguan mo pa yan ng oxygen, wala, hindi niya ma-address, okay? It can address it will not address the problem of the patient, the shunt effect, okay? Pag ang VQ ratio mo naman is infinite, ano ibig sabihin yan?
Dead space po.
Okay. So, pag ganyan, pag sinabi nating infinite, yung blood flow to the lungs is completely blocked. Okay, ito yung may problema dito. Okay? May ventilation nga pero walang perfusion. Okay? Perfusion is zero. Okay? So the VQ is infinite, which is called dead space. Okay, tandaan nyo yan, yung shunt, dead space, decreased VQ, increased VQ, kung saan pwede, saan pwedeng magbigay ng oxygen supplementation. Okay, saan ba pwedeng magbigay dito ng oxygen supplementation? Sa sa may shunt, sa dead space, decreased VQ, or increased VQ. Okay, sa exam nyo na lang. Okay? Okay. Anong schedule nyo bukas? 4 hours.
Doc, sa Block B po, 8 to 11 po, ano po, mag-meet po kami ni Sir Kelvin, bali magka-cardio physio po kami. And then 1 to 3, imimit po kami ni Doc Kelvin ulit, ay Sir Kelvin po ulit ng respi physio po. Tapos after po nun, ethics po namin.
Anong ethics yun?
Magde-debate po kami sa ethics after po nun.
Ilang oras?
3 to, wait lang po.
Sa
4
section
to
A.
5:30 po kami sa ethics
Four-
po.
Okay, 4 to 5:30. Via online naman yan, di ba?
Yung ethics po, face-to-face po kami lahat bukas.
Kasi, okay, okay. Okay, next. Yan yung isang core nyo. O, Joshua. 2A. Kasi kung hindi kayo available dito nga, kasi ito na lang yung kwan natin. Kasi gabi na din, baka kailangan nyo mag-aral. Hmm. I-chat mo na lang, Joshua. I-chat mo na lang. Chat mo na lang, no? Baka di ka masyadong choppy. Yung isa,
Doc, mga 10 to 12 is meron po kaming plenary ng
10 to 12.
FRT with Block A.
Yun lang.
And then 5 to 8 po is meron kaming UTS.
Anong UTS?
Understanding the self po.
Sino tuturo ng understanding? Tapos parang wala kaming ganyan. No? Sino prof nyo kako?
Ma'am Jodalit po. Jodalit Tagin.
Okay. So, ito lang naman na. So, sige, I'll meet you in next Saturday. This Saturday pala. Okay? Kasi meron ata akong meeting bukas. Pero tingnan ko pa. Okay? So, ito lang naman na yung control of ventilation. Tapos, siguro, balikan lang natin yung cardio na kahit yung cardio dynamics lang. Konti lang yun, mga 5 slides. Then the rest, yung cardio, ano ba yung isa? Yung cardiac cycle. So siguro I will give kwan na lang doon, PPT, kung okay lang sa inyo. Oy,
Okay lang po, Doc.
Okay. Then, we're done. Right? We're done. Malapit na tayo matapos next, tawag nito, sa Sabado. Okay? Sa Sabado siguro kaya na yung 2 hours ulit. So, konti lang naman na to. So, may gusto ba kayong sabihin? Ano, any question? Sabado, 1 to, 1 to ba? 1 to 3, di ba? Okay. Yung regular session natin. 1 to 3, afternoon, your, we'll discuss the control of ventilation. Konti lang to. Then your cardiodynamics. Yun lang. May tanong ba? Ang tanong na kayo. Pa-open cam na para kung may tanong kayo or ano. Ano, kinakaya nyo pa ba? Oo, kayang-kaya nyo yan. Pa ba? Your exam, tapos na yung exam nyo. It's a 100 item. 100 ba yun? O 100. MCQ 100. Okay? Boards type questions. Kayo kung gusto nyo yung magpa-compute ko, okay lang. May nabigay na ba kayong Mayroon na ba kayo, may nabigay na bang quizzes sa inyo si Sir Kelvin nyo? Quizzes.
Wala pa po, Doc.
As in, wala?
May sinagutan lang po kaming activity, Doc. Parang quiz type na din po siya, Doc.
Pero kasi may mga sinadmit din akong mga quizzes, mga previous lectures natin. So, hindi na ibigay. Oo, hindi lang yun. Diba? O hindi?
Doc, wala naman po.
Wala. Okay. So, yun. So, sabi niya naman sa akin, kung ganun daw, kasi hindi niya din naibigay kasi medyo may mga activities kayo noon. Baka ipasabay daw sa exam. Ganun. Or there's separate siguro na mag-quiz kayo. So, kailan pa yung finals nyo? Um, Kailan finals nyo?
17 po, Doc.
17. So, pwede pa kayong mag-long quiz ng 15. Minute na kayo ni Doc nyo, ni Doc Jervis nyo. Oo, hindi lang yon.
This Saturday, Doc.
Okay. So, sige. So, parang last nyo na yon. Last nyo na rin.
Opo, Doc.
So, sige. Parang hindi naman kayo pumapasok. Parang nandiyan lang kayo sa bahay nyo. Or may mga sadyang lang din. Okay, so this coming Saturday, I will be discussing the control of ventilation in respiration is the last topic. Then I will discuss the cardiodynamics in cardiophysiology. Yun lang. Yan, siguro magbibigay na lang ako ng PPT sa cardiac cycle. Okay? Your cardiac. Yun lang naman. O ano, question. Wala kang question? Any question? Mm.
Excuse me, Doc.
Mm.
Doc, pwede po mag-leave na po?
Ah,
May pagsamba po kasi kami, Doc.
sige, sige, sige. Sige na din.
Thank you po.
Pag-pray mo din ako, ha? Okay. Thank you. Sige din.